Hello. Okay. Alright, welcome. I'm Anastasia.
I'm Dasha.
And I'm David.
And we'll be going over what squatting is, what are some issues you may encounter, how to fix those issues, and then squat progressions for everyone and anything. What we'll cover today is first, differences in squat width and what your stance width is going to be. Just because there's a difference between male and female, and especially how the pelvis is constructed. So women are designed to give birth, so the pelvis is actually going to be wider, so you're going to feel most likely more comfortable squatting wider with your feet turned out. So can you guys both demonstrate a squat towards the camera forward, please? Just natural what you think, and I want you to go 90 degrees first, and then all the way down to as far as you can. Go ahead, 90 degrees. Good, and then all the way down. Beautiful. Good, stand back up. And let's turn face me. Same thing again at 90 degrees. Good, and all the way down. Beautiful, and come back up. Very nice. But I know there's a lot of talk about whether you want to turn out your feet. Does it feel better for you to turn out your feet?
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I prefer it.
Do you care if you turn out your feet or not?
Although, for me, they can't be directly forward. It needs like a small angle, maybe about 10 degrees.
Yeah. She and I are going to turn out a lot more just because our pelvis is turned out anyway. So there's people that say, like, you have to keep your feet straight. It does not feel good. It does not feel good. That puts a lot of strain on my knees.
Same, yeah.
So you have to adjust person to person and actually per gender. Okay? Yeah. All right. So some issues that we might have, we're going to work from our bottom up. So Dasha has some really, really tight calves from just a lot of dancing in heels. Yeah. So
all of this, yeah.
And that comes with a slew of issues themselves, but it actually prevents you from squatting all the way down, right? Mm-hmm. Can you show us what you look like if you really try to force a squat all the way down and what your heels do naturally?
Yeah. So.
Yep. Good.
And I'll do it to the side too, so you guys can see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you get to come from the balls of your toes when you get to the bottom because of the Achilles, that's really tight.
So your calves are up here, but they connect to the tendon, that's the Achilles tendon, and it connects to your heel. And if you're in heels all day long dancing, that gets nice and short. So all of a sudden you don't have this range to stretch past it. And that's why your heels come up. Good.
Is that also similarly why a lot of people like having a small incline in their squat shoes, like the 3/4 inch heels is I think the standard for like a squat or deadlift shoe.
Yeah. The other issue that can come with having tight Achilles is that you start to compensate in the feet and further up the chain. So what you have to look out for is your feet will start to turn in. So all of a sudden you start squatting, and because you don't have that, you start doing this. Your feet start to pronate in, and your knees collapse. So we don't want that for sure. So the way we're going to modify that for you, I'm going to give you a small platform to squat on, and you can adjust that to size.
That should work.
Okay, go ahead, try again. How does that feel compared to squatting just flat foot?
Much better, yeah. It was easier to get down. Yeah.
A lot less strain up the chain, right, on everything else.
Here, let me rotate. So it's sideways too. Okay. It's the same thing.
Much smoother
drop,
right?
And I don't get stuck.
Good job.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, very good. And that will help everything up the chain from just adding in a little bit of elevation to your heels if need be. Okay, David, can you show us your squat and tell me what your hips feel like when you do that?
Sure. Okay. Like I said, I do mine maybe about shoulder width, maybe a little bit more, small turnout on either side.
And you've worked on your squat form a lot. What was the biggest thing for you to get over as a hurdle?
Yeah, so I got into squatting maybe in 2011, and I'd read a little bit about strength training, and one of the core workouts for that is the squat, right? You have your squat, your bench, your deadlift, and your press. So I basically had a plan for that, and I tried to start squatting, and my squat kind of looked like something like this, and that's not the depth that I had.
Just a little wiggle down.
To give you an idea, my hip flexors are so tight that I once pulled my hip flexor playing kickball when I followed through on a kick, and it literally popped.
Ew.
So they're extremely tight, and I think that's exactly what was happening, is that
You're trying to get around it and get into a squat.
Yeah, so there's no range of motion there. So it was actually the weight made it a little bit easier because it was literally forcing me
you down.
into.
Yeah.
So doing them over and over is kind of how I learned how to do it. But like basically watching myself in the mirror. But I'd say most of that's gone now. Like I can squat very comfortably. I'd say the bottom is still a little bit tight on my hips, but it's probably past anywhere that I need to go anyway.
Yeah, for those of us that have tight hips, and obviously David has already fixed a lot of what he was experiencing, I'd probably say we want to start in the position that's uncomfortable. So I'm going to have you actually demonstrate by sitting on the bench.
Sure.
So you'd start sitting and then try to literally put yourself in the same position what you're trying to achieve and then stand up from there.
Okay, so I'm imagining I'm doing a back squat then, or you could do a front squat, right? But
yeah, and you sit down again, and then do it again. And you can sit down normally, like you would in a normal chair. And you would work and start to lower that, so you should be able to sit normally in a chair, right?
Yeah.
But that's lower than what you can squat when you started, at least. That's a really easy way to start building in some of that framework that you're missing at your hips.
do you need to sit up differently though? Like I feel like you can kind of cheat a lot of times when you're like sitting and standing, like the way you kind of, because you can kind of lean forward, and that's not the way you want, like just to show someone from the side, right? Like I can sit, right, like I'm squatting, but like I can also stand in a way that I lean forward first and then stand up, and I'm completely cheating, right?
Yeah.
Like I would never do that with a barbell on my back, where I'd basically create the moment forward.
Right. I'm so glad you asked that. Let me demonstrate. Okay, you can use a broom. You don't need something as fancy as what I have.
Okay.
You're going to just hold it here, and it's going to be nestled right into your lower back. You're going to hold the other half, and neither end can leave your back.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna do it like.
Yes. And you're going to hold that up against you the entire time. And then can you curve that around the other side? There you go. Is that better?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I'm supposed to sit.
Yep. Don't let it leave your upper back. I see that. No cheating.
Yeah, this kind of prevents like that, like.
Yeah.
Because if you tilt forward, it no longer is touching your lower back.
Correct.
So you're basically forcing your spine to be aligned, right?
Aligned, yes. And it's going to be aligned right over your center of mass.
Maybe I'll show people from the side too.
Mhm.
So like, if I was cheating, I would be moving forward, right?
Yep, and that lower one comes right off your back. You can't do that. Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a nice technique.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought it was myself. Another easy way to see if you are having trouble, you know how you said you were wiggling your way down to get past your hip flexors?
Mm-hmm.
You put it this way, but you will do it in front of a mirror so that when you're squatting, you can see if something tips.
Oh, good point. Okay.
So, or you can have something more colorful at the end so you can really see if it's tipping or not.
Good to know. Yeah.
What was the next thing? Oh, knees. Let's do knees on you.
Okay.
Your knees are good.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's easier for you to demonstrate what's wrong because your feet are so tight
Yeah.
right now. Okay.
Yay.
So we got backs, we got hips. Next is knees. Like I just said before, you don't want any knee caving.
Yes.
Anything where you're coming in and knocking your knees together. So if I ask you to squat right now, and you're just gonna hold just a regular squat, not all the way down, I want you to tell me if you can see your big toe.
Just like regular, go down.
Like 90 degrees.
Okay.
If you look directly over your knee, can you see your big toe?
Not really.
Not really. Good. Come back up.
Is that good or?
It's not good.
It's not good.
She's demonstrating the incorrect way very well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's because I'm keeping
Why
my
do we want to
heels
see our big toe? To make sure it's there?
No, so it's important. So you can still be squatting technically correctly, but still caving in just a small amount, and that's actually where I see a lot of benefit. That last 10 degrees of correcting where your knees are really takes care of some of the knee issues that people experience.
Yeah.
Okay?
If you're pushing your knees forward though, rather than your butt out, doesn't that kind of already tell you that you're not doing it quite right? because you almost want to be moving completely vertical, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you're moving your knees forward, right, rather than sitting back.
Oh, we're not there yet.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're gonna do the same thing again, but I need you to really push your knees apart, like you're trying to bring your knees over your pinky toes so that you can see your big toe when you squat.
Okay. So over.
Much better.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
That's better. Yeah.
Better where and why?
Kind of everywhere. So even from the tightness perspective, before I was getting a range of motion supposedly going this way, it still felt tighter in the places where I have issues. But the minute when I started focusing outwards, I even felt like I was able to get a little bit more range of motion through that area. In general, my hips feel more open. I feel like I'm engaging my
You are.
my glute
You
more,
are.
all of this part more.
You're gonna get
yeah.
a lot of glute action turning out
Yeah.
more. You're actually
I
gonna
wasn't
gain more.
engaging nearly as much when I was turning inwards for sure.
You're
Yeah.
gonna get more bang for your buck, and you're gonna do it in better technique.
And I did feel, honestly, I've had knee issues also as part of my history. It's not just the tight Achilles. I've had dislocations, weak knees, stuff like that, and I did feel more pressure in the first version versus when we focused on getting the knees outwards. Yeah.
David, can we see you try?
What do you want me to do?
Come stand in front of the camera for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so you're gonna squat regular to 90 degrees again.
Yep.
Good. Can you see your big toe when you look
I
over?
see my
your
whole
toe?
foot.
Okay, good. I want you to try pretend like you're driving your knees over your pinky toes for me and tell me if you feel a difference. What happens?
It feels a little bit nicer actually if I'm really pushing
Yes.
forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just solidifies that technique and you glide right down.
Yeah.
Yeah, being more intentional in the direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
And it'll really help, especially if you're really loading yourself up on like back squats or front squats. It just makes that motion so much smoother if you really just drive your knees out because you can drop right down.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, great point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. We got hips, back, knees, feet. We got them all.
Great.
Okay, let's go through progressions. So for progressions to squatting, right, you might be starting where you are, you might be starting somewhere where you can't squat at all. So how do you progress from 0 to a full squat, right? Easiest way to make sure you're safe is to either hold on to something or put something behind you to catch you. So we're gonna start with a quarter squat. We have how tall is this thing? 24-inch box behind us. The higher the surface, the easier it is going to be to squat. Dasha, I want you to squat, remember knees over pinky toes, and touch your butt to the box and stand back up. Oh, so easy, so beautiful. Again. Good. All right, let's see. You're gonna do the same thing to the bench now. So to progress this, you want to drop the surface height, okay? And obviously this is a very large drop from a 24-inch to about a 17-inch surface. So you have to grade it inch by inch, usually depending on how strong you are or how much you feel comfortable. Go ahead, try that again. Squat, touch, and come back up. Good. She's demonstrating the harder version. So go ahead, actually sit down and then stand back up.
Okay.
Good. And this is a modified version where you actually sit all of your weight down and then stand back up. The first way you did it was more eccentrics. You're going to use a lot more quad eccentrics to do this, and it's harder.
Okay.
But that's usually my progression. Once you can do an eccentric squat to the surface you're on, and you can do 10 relatively easy and you're not tired, time to progress to the next lower level.
Okay.
Okay?
Good to know. Yeah.
Do you have questions?
Yeah, so you gave two starting versions, right? This high box, which could be really sensibly any height depending on the person, right? Someone's taller, they probably
Need a higher
taller box.
surface, yeah.
If they're shorter, maybe a smaller one. How many reps should somebody be doing, and how often if they're looking to actually gain progress in their hip flexibility?
Let's see. Everybody's going to stretch at a different rate, for sure, right? Because we're more flexible than men are, right? But I'd probably say you want to spend at least probably a week working to the depth that you're at, and you want to do it comfortably. You're not forcing it, okay? And for repetitions, I'm going to say aim for about 30 reps a day, just to really start ingraining it in your body to the level that you're comfortable at. And once you've gotten comfortable at that level where it's like, okay, I'm not forcing it, and I don't have to think about every single little thing, and I'm not out of breath, and my muscles don't hurt, drop the weight, or drop the surface.
Okay. But for somebody who's not going to train 30 reps straight, right? Somebody who's just starting and still struggling, we're thinking something like 10 to 12 reps and maybe 3 or 4 sets is really what we're getting to.
Yeah, especially if like you're working or something, you don't have a full hour of your day. 10 reps of up and down from a chair takes 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Cool. So there
Good
you have
advice.
your advice. If you're looking to make progress, 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps at whatever stage of development you're at, and keep reassessing to figure out if you're ready for progression from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay, so we have 2 very good athletes here. How do we actually make them stronger? Because they both can squat very well, obviously, aside from hips and ankles. How do we take somebody like this and make you better? Do you guys have any ideas?
I might have one.
You've cheated, you've done this.
I guess it depends. What are you looking at?
But, yeah.
I'm trying to give you better control of your leg and better depth.
I have a couple ideas, but I'll let David start.
You started. If you have ideas.
Cheated.
I already did this. That's
Okay.
why you can cut this out, but
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends what your goals are. Because I don't know if I would be looking to increase my ability for a weighted barbell squat, but there's other reasons that you might want to have greater hip flexibility or a lower squat. But I think I would recommend holding a squat at your max depth if I wanted to see improvement in my range of motion.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Nobody really likes wall squats though, but it's okay.
yeah.
Oh, you're recommending wall? Yeah, I guess what I was getting at was,
Yeah.
well, I was gonna say, like, sit at your maximum squat and then hold it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the longer you hold it, the more you're going to relax into your squat.
Yeah, of course, but that is very challenging, right? Especially if you don't have good balance that low, which happens a lot if you're stiff.
I think the other thing I would recommend is, and we might have to move the camera to do this, or maybe I can just bar the bench. You have a pole or some type of vertical surface that you can basically hold on to, and you can basically wrap your arms around it, and you can basically sit down into your squat.
Oh,
Right.
I do that, yeah.
Yeah, actually, this is the way I would warm up my hips a lot of times when I was looking to squat at the gym, and I didn't really have any good idea of what to stretch. I would really just grab onto it, kind of sit into it with my hips.
But we already know static stretching doesn't do well prior to you lifting.
It doesn't
Right.
actually, yeah.
So you almost don't want to do that
Sure.
before lifting and before powerlifting when you're asking for really high peak performance. So let me show you some different ways to warm up your legs and your hips. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Dasha, you can do it with the things underneath your heels if you want, but I don't think we're going to be going that lower that you need one.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, grab a seat on the bench for me. All right. Go ahead, stagger your feet. I don't care which foot's in front. Good. Great. Arms in front. You're going to pop that foot up on the heel. Good. And you're going to stand up like that.
Give me a sec. Mental moment. Just because this is so much tighter right now. So, okay.
Good. And then back down. Touch. And stand back up. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. 5 and switch.
Okay.
So she did it the hard way with her foot flex. If she puts her foot down, it's going to be easier. Put it down for me. Yeah. Much easier. Ooh, no, maybe. 3, 4. Keep that knee over your pinky toe. Good. 5. All right.
Yeah.
David, would you like to also try?
Sure.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
So, let me get some.
Stack. Yeah.
Good. Don't actually sit all of your weight down to make it hardest. Really tap and stand back up. Okay, that's 4 and 5. Good. Oh, please practice these.
I see that.
Let's practice squatting for a long time.
I've done a lot of squats.
Yeah, also works on your balance a little bit.
Yeah.
1, tap. 2, tap more, tap less. 4 and 5. Good job. Okay, so let's say then you don't want to do single leg squats though, so you're about to lift very heavy, right?
Yeah, that's just those are pretty challenging.
Yeah.
Those are pretty challenging, and like you don't have to go that low, but it also is a good warm up, right? But
Yeah.
you want to. What if you're looking to conserve how much energy you're using,
Sure.
right? Okay. Do you mind moving the bench back? Okay, David, you're gonna start.
What am I doing?
You're gonna sit on the step.
I feel like I'm being punished.
Okay, sitting here, do you feel a stretch in your hips?
I guess it depends where I place my feet.
Yeah, but if you're getting ready to squat up from this position, where would you place your feet?
Probably where they are.
Yeah, okay. Do you feel stretch there?
A
little bit.
Yeah, it's a minor stretch.
Yeah, it's a minor stretch. Okay, here's what I want you to do. You're actually going to squat from this, you're gonna stand back up, only to about 90 degrees, and then sit back down. Good. Again. 2, 3, 4, one more. 5. Good. And you can sit back up.
It's a great idea. I actually didn't think about trying to do like a partial rep from the bottom of your squat.
Yeah, because you're going into the range you're looking to stretch, but you're not holding it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd say it's actually one of the most challenging parts of your squat too, especially if it's a weighted one, because it's like where you're kind of changing your motion from lowering to lifting, right? So yeah, it's actually probably a great place to train from if you're stuck.
Sasha?
Yeah.
Do you need something underneath your heels?
Maybe.
Try a couple and then
Let's
we'll
see how bad it is today. Okay. Just 90, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, actually.
Knees?
Yeah.
Last one. Beautiful. Okay. Alright,
Yeah.
I'm going to show you some progressions so that you can work on the strength of your squat at that depth. Not for warming up per se, but to work on the strength. Okay? Go ahead, David. You're going to grab a seat again.
Pause for 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure we're still recording everything.
Oh no.
You're
Oh
fine.
no.
No, we're good. I get paranoid when we're doing it.
No, she yawned and she said she
Oh.
wouldn't.
But I yawned. You saw I yawned, but he walked away.
That's
Like
true,
it
he's cutting
clearly
this, yes,
like
yes,
cut.
yes.
Okay, back to action.
Okay. So do anything with 2 feet is easiest. Now we're gonna do 1 foot. You know how you did your staggered
Yeah.
squats? So you're gonna
This is kind of like a pistol squat, right?
kind of, yeah. I mean, the other foot's still on the ground for balance. You can
Okay.
assist.
So-
So, yep, and your foot's gonna be flat for this one. Same
Okay.
thing, 90 degrees, and then right back down.
No, I don't think I can do it.
There you go. The closer the foot in,
The easier.
the easier it is. 3, 4, 5. Good. Other side. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. 4. Those feet are almost parallel again. 5.
Yeah, it's actually really hard.
It's very hard. But you really isolate the bottom of your squat and you ask that leg to push you up.
This is actually the part that I can't do if I'm trying to do like a pistol squat. Like I get stuck in the bottom and I
Yeah,
can't
same.
get the initial.
Yeah, that's what you're trying.
Okay.
Remember, knee over pinky toe.
Knee over pinky toe.
And you don't have to put your leg all the way out straight. That is another progression to do it the hardest way. You kick this leg out all the way on your heel. But we're not there right now.
Okay.
So the closer it is to being parallel,
The easier it
yeah.
is.
Easier.
Mhm.
I know you.
Or I guess like parallel, the closer it is to be collinear.
Okay, let's do this. 5, right?
Mhm.
It's hard, right?
I'm gonna give you a cheat. You're gonna come this way, actually.
Yeah.
Do you need
Does that
something
hurt?
like that?
Maybe. Wait. Let's not say 2 days of dancing ruined everything.
Good. 90 degrees, my friend.
Oh.
2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Switch.
But that's a good note actually. So like if you're not able to actually get the foot out quite yet, this is a good option for like.
And that's usually the better way to balance. You just kick that foot out, especially if you're doing it with a straight leg. The wider it is, the easier it is for you to balance.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Don't lose your seat. 5. You keep moving backwards. Nice. Good job.
Good to know. Yeah. that I have like another option, because yeah, for me at least at my stage, attempting this movement, I can't do it exactly straight yet. Like I need something to counter my balance a little bit.
I feel bad putting you guys through this. Should I do it too?
No,
He wants to.
What do you want me to do?
Do you want me to do this since I made you guys do this too?
Sure.
Oh,
What is that?
I thought she was just the teacher.
I am the teacher, but the teacher has to be able to demonstrate, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but I thought this was like a teaching video. Okay. Ah. Okay. Good job. Wow,
You can do it all the way extended, huh?
Wow. Good for you.
But you can do it.
So you're doing the thing that we were talking about, right? Like where
Yeah,
you wouldn't have,
yeah.
if you had the pole, you wouldn't have.
No, when you go to the steps, you can't keep a good position for your back because you have to bend so far forward to get your weight over your foot.
I'm like, I can't do it already. How did you do that?
You did it like really effortlessly.
Yeah,
so it kind of hurt.
Hurts,
I found it a little offensive.
I don't like
That's
this.
amazing to try.
What the freak? We're cutting all this out.
Yeah, this might be removed from the. It's the beauty of being an editor. You can remove your embarrassing moments.
He's struggling though.
Yeah.
Like he's doing it, but there's a struggle.
No, he's not doing it fully because you have to be able to balance the top.
Okay, I feel so much better right now. How the hell do you do that?
I don't know.
You said you haven't been weightlifting or anything at all.
She comes out here in jeans and just kind of casually does it. You're really leaning forward though. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
because
what I
your
can
weight
do.
has to come over your foot, right?
I was
There's no other
leaning
way.
forward, I'm pretty sure, and it still wasn't.
Yeah, there's no other way because this is your base leg,
This
right?
is basically your weakness though, because it's
Yes,
like the.
yes.
Yeah.
Like I can get down, but you saw we were
Your-
there. I
yeah.
get stuck.
Your
Yeah.
heels look. Maybe if you had like one of the.
The lifting shoes or whatever.
Or
You wanna
where's
try
the?
Or the plate.
You wanna try
Yeah.
this?
Try it.
You think it changes something?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Really? Mm-hmm.
It'll make it at least a little bit easier. Because you're struggling because you can't get over your foot.
I feel wrong, like right
I
now.
feel wrong.
I don't know why I feel wrong right now. So
Sorry,
you're
I-
just letting yourself go. Oh my god, no way!
Okay, it makes it easier, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I mean, I still struggle with the last one the most, but that's fatigue, like normal fatigue.
Yeah.
Wow. So like my issue here was in fact the limited motion.
Yeah, you can literally see from the angle how much you're translating on your foot.
Here, just to even it out.
And you can go wide that foot out. You can too.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, trained this a lot. Clearly. Yeah, much easier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't have a range at the ankle to translate your weight forward.
Ah, okay, I'm done. It's still not like easy, but
I'm kind of curious.
I would include this in the video. Like just if you can somehow like.
We can include it for you, especially.
Oh wow, that is way easier.
Yeah. Wow, okay.
Wow, what a
So
difference.
noted. Like
Yeah.
just that like little
Little
range.
heel lift.
Yeah. And you do have that like motion, like you have
I
that
feel like I have
space.
tightness when I'm like doing
Yeah.
this.
So that would obviously that would make the difference. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
that range of motion.
So yeah, if you don't have good ankle range of motion, you can't do this. You can't translate your weight forward enough over your foot to get up.
And that would explain what David was talking about for my pistol squats.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he has the same problem with
Yeah.
like, at this depth. He just can't.
Yeah, my ankles are. It's not quite as bad, but they're lifting up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
I also squat all the time in lifting shoes that have like a inclined 3/4
Okay.
inch heel.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
And I find it's way harder to squat without them. I didn't really think it was because of the.
No, because
It's
that's my
because of
issue. Yeah, because my like you're at this angle and that shortens the Achilles.
Yeah. Have you squatted with heels?
Yes, it's easy.
It's super easy. You can hang out here all day long.
yeah.
Your waist touching the floor, but your heels are elevated, so nothing's working hard.
Like even yesterday, I was
Yeah.
wearing my Cuban heels. I was at this narrowness, and it's 3/4, I'm pretty sure, and I squatted no,
No problem.
issues. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, the elevated heel makes a big difference in your squat,
Yeah.
even if you don't realize you have tight calves.
Yes.
Cool.
Now you know.
Do we have any final pieces we want to show?
Yeah, I think that was it. Unless you have anything you want to ask about. Oh, we want to do knees over toes. The sissy squat.
What is the knees over? I keep hearing people talk about this. What is
So
it?
yeah, there's a big controversy about like you shouldn't squat with your knees over your toes. Like this is bad, right? Well, if it's so bad, why can we do it? Right?
Yeah.
Are we talking body weight or are we talking with like any kind of
Body weight.
Okay.
Body weight.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're going to be landing with a ton of weight behind it or you're squatting, yes, you want to stay as underneath yourself as possible. But there's no bad reason why you can't do this, right?
Yeah.
This is not bad. Obviously, it's going to put different strains on different
Michael Jackson?
things. Yeah, Michael Jackson. Go for it. But
Sure.
there's honestly, you want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You want to be able to go into the available ranges. It makes your knees and legs that much stronger.
Okay. What am I training by doing my knees over my toes?
Doing the squat that we just demonstrated here,
Yeah.
it's a lot of calf strength and a lot of eccentric quad again, because you have to be able to balance to come down this flag
Oh yeah. Okay.
and then come back up. Can you do it?
No.
Let me see. I mean, your heels are going to come up, so this shouldn't be an issue that way.
I'm just like.
Yeah?
I can't come back.
Use your hand.
Voila.
But yes, people yell at me for doing my lunges this way. But
Really?
you want to be able to do this. This is very functional. You want to be able to keep your foot underneath you. Like, there's a reason why all of our lunges have to be here. Yes, this looks more nice. This puts a lot less pressure on my knee. But this, my muscles have to really work through all this range so I can do certain things.
Good to know. Cause
Even if you don't do it all the time, it's good to be able to do because you need it.
No, but like my entire career, like dance career or just even fitness career, you're right. You always hear 90 degrees. You don't want to go over.
Everybody knows that, but they don't know why.
Yeah, and I've never had a good explanation for
Neither
it.
have I.
Yeah. So
Neither
good.
have I. And I think it's more because they're afraid you're going to hurt the inside of your knee and overstrain it. But honestly, the more you work within safe limitations of how much weight you're putting behind it, the stronger the body's going to get working through that.
And that makes sense, yeah.
I think the knees or toes guy calls it like bulletproofing your knees when you do this.
Cool. We can add a link to
Yeah,
whatever
cool.
he does
Yeah.
there.
Cool.
Yeah, nice.
Well, great. Thank you for the
Thank you.
intro.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Cool.
It's not meant to be, see, it's not meant to be. But I swear that I'm not leaving. What you need is a reason. It's not